what has occurred to George Floyd. We fully expect for the officers to serve prison time. They've earned it.
Emily Ikeda for Good Day Atlanta.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus.
20 to 30 minutes of things slightly getting out of hand, and would have been, at the very least, at least from the live pictures we can see from Skyfox 5, the couple of arrests that have been made there in front of CNN Center. One thing we can say about the Atlanta Police Department and city officials here is that they're really good at sort of reconciling the need for people to get out there and voice their opinions and move together as a group in solidarity to say whatever it is they need to say and what is on their mind, but to keep control at the same time. The police force here is very good at doing that. We saw it a couple of years ago when protests broke out in our city then, of sort of keeping
their colleagues, and they're forming an even stronger line. It looks like they're trying to hold the protesters back at the CNN Center location. They don't want to give them any more further ground. It does look like they are succeeding so far in holding that line. Those bike officers in front using their bikes as barriers. But it looks like a growing crowd. And there was a larger group of people over in the park, in Centennial Olympic Park, who walked over and joined with the others.
Yeah, this playing out on a Friday afternoon in downtown Atlanta. It's 5:45, or about 10 to 6 now. Temperatures are warm. The weather is good. A lot of people, frankly, are at home because of the coronavirus.
In Minneapolis says that they're anticipating that will be the case. But for a lot of the protesters here and across the country, the progress has been too slow in that respect. Justice has been too slow, given what they consider to be the obvious crime on the video that all of us have seen.
Yeah, it took 4 days for those charges we saw earlier to come down, and again, it's peacefully demonstrate and express those frustrations. Alex Whitler, our reporter there on the scene, she's at the park. She has been listening to speeches that protesters have been giving. They have sort of held chants and just peacefully expressed their frustration with the situation, with the death of George Floyd. In front of Atlanta's police chief, quite a few people around her.
Yeah.
At least 50 people, it looks like. But there are some officers in the crowd sort of forming a barricade around her with their bodies. But, obviously hoping that doesn't turn, doesn't go left. But so far it looks like she's just communicating calmly with one of the protesters.
Yeah, I think it's a proud moment for our city to see Chief Eric.
It's really all I can say. There's just so much going on. As you can imagine, it's not even clear how many people would be out here. Definitely hundreds. Not sure if it's peaked into the thousands at this point. This trash can continues to roll down the street. It's just depending on where you're standing and where you're looking.
Results Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was hoping for just moments ago when she made an impassioned plea to protesters that if you care about our city, go home. And now more things are on fire, and protesters are going inside of that hotel, that Embassy Suites in downtown Atlanta, and it looked like they were damaging things inside.
Well, it was a...
Let's get ahead of it, and let's give them power. We don't need an officer that makes a mistake once, twice, 3 times, and finally he kills a boy on national TV, and the next thing you know, the country is burning down. We don't need a dumbass president repeating what segregation is saying. You start looting, we start shooting. But the problem is some officers black and some people gonna shoot back. And that's not good for our community either. I love and respect you all. I hope that we find a way out of it, because I don't have the answers, but I do know we must plot, we must plan, we must strategize, organize, and mobilize. Thank you for allowing me some time to speak. I'd like to appreciate our chief for what she said on YouTube. I thought it was very bold to do. I'd like to appreciate our mayor for talking to us like a black mama and telling us to take our ass at home. And I'd like to thank my friend for convincing me to come here. And I'll defer to Joe Beasley now, because he knows a hell of a lot more than we do. Thank y'all.
Well, thank you very much. I guess I'm one of the fortunate ones that grew up here in metropolitan Atlanta 83 years ago. So I've really seen real change. with the group because, change is here. I remember very well when we couldn't even venture in this building. But now the mayor is the mayor of this city. We've got a great chief here. And I think that the word from the mayor is to go home. Because when you're in a crowd, the adrenaline is pumping, and you didn't really mean to get in trouble when you came out. But in fact, when you're following the crowd, whatever the crowd does that you're with, you're going to be a part of it. And so
who was killed senselessly, as my father was assassinated senselessly. It sent me on a journey of anger. And I fought that demon a long time. And this is a moment where people are feeling a lot of stuff right now and are fed up. And as I stand in this moment and I look at my journey, I have to make an appeal to my brothers and sisters. Because I realize that the only way to get constructive change is through nonviolent means. A lot of people have been using my father's words. Sometimes I get a little upset when people do that and co-opt those words and take them out of context. But I realize that he gave his life to this nation. He was a son of this state and of this city, born on the soils of this city, on Auburn Avenue. But he said to us, riots are the language of the unheard. And the part we often miss when people use it is the part about the unheard. This is a time when we all have to listen. We have to listen to the cries that are coming out of the hearts and the souls of my young brothers and sisters and all of the others that are in the streets of America right now and in our city. But if there's anything I can say to them as they cry out to look at these changes, because the changes have to happen. We can't go back to yesterday. Go home. Go home.
So after you burn down your own home, what do you have left but char and ash? CNN, Ted did a great thing.